Hey guys, so a new thread has been posted to Reddit today, and this thread is catching on fire. It is this one right here where they are showcasing a hallucination build Deathblade and going, nobody's bounced the game. Um, so what this is somebody did a build on Deathblade where they were playing hallucination, and they parsed this number right here in Trixian, 32 million. Their character, it's a 2-minute parse on their character, which is 1620 eye level, level 40 set elixir, 21 weapon, 44 transcendence. And to give you a little bit of context on what that actually means, we can take a look at this person's character. So as you can see right here, they are about 1620 item level, right? They have a 21 weapon. They have a relatively modest bracelet, just has circulation on it. Their gems are pretty average for an endgame Deathblade player, to be honest. Not really like all level 10s that a lot of people have. And they have Ether Predator 1, which they do simulate with stabilized status on their parse in Trixian. So, and also with the transcendence, you can see that it only adds about 5% damage. So it's like, it's a decent amount, but it's not like a huge amount because he doesn't have like max transcendence right now. So pretty modest character, all things considered, for Korea. And they are parsing 32 million damage. Now, how much damage is 32 million damage? Are they on par with a lot of other classes? Is it weaker than other classes? Stronger than other classes? Well, if we take a look here, this Arcana right here, 1623 Emperor Arcana, is parsing about 35 million DPS, which is pretty significant, to be honest. They've got a level 40 set, 5x3x2, and simulating yurting. So they are pretty damn strong. To be honest, you could argue that they're a little bit stronger than this Deathblade because they do have a 5x3x2 setup. And they are doing 35 million parse. Now, this Surge Deathblade right here is doing about a 46 million parse, and they are quite a bit more juiced. They have a 25 weapon as opposed to 21. They also have a 9/7 stone, so they are 5x3x2. So this Surge Deathblade is very juiced, even more juiced than the other one, which is why you can see that they are doing quite a bit more damage. And of course, they are on the entropy build, so not the hallucination build, right? And then the Slayer right here, 28 million parse, and we take a look at their gear, about the same. They're not 5x3x2, unlike the others. There's 5x3x1, level 10 gems, LOS 30, etc., etc. All the bells and whistles, right? Their weapon looks like it's a 22 weapon, I believe. 22, 23. So, yeah, they are all pretty much more juiced than this guy. And outside of, I'd say, the Surge Deathblade, everybody is doing about the same damage as this hallucination build Deathblade. This guy's doing a little bit less, this guy's doing a little bit more, but it's kind of interesting to think about this, right? Because Deathblade is an entropy class, of course, and if he was going entropy, he would be doing a lot more damage. He'd probably be doing as much damage as this guy, right? Maybe a little bit less. So the whole thing that's going on Reddit right now is like, oh my gosh, is nobody balancing the game? What's going on? This guy's doing crazy damage. But one thing you have to consider, and one thing I was thinking about, and I was thinking about this for a while, right? Is Deathblade more OP than we thought it was because of this? No. Because Deathblade, even though like this number is absolutely crazy, right? It's like, it basically, what people are saying is it matches the damage of other Hitmaster classes, if not doing more damage, right? And one guy on the Reddit thread right here, Mr. Chef, talked a little bit about his Reflex Sork, and was like, look, I tried this build, and yeah, this build does about the same as my Reflex Sork, but honestly, yeah, it hits the same numbers as any other Hitmaster class. And to be honest, if that's the case, why is anybody going to be going the Hallucination Deathblade build? I don't know. The thing is, yes, I think that Deathblade is extremely strong right now. It's definitely OP. But this doesn't really change anything. Like, the fact that this Hallucination Deathblade is doing the same amount of damage as Hitmaster classes doesn't really change anything, right? It's not like it's more OP than before, less OP than before. It's just a very, very strong class that swapped over to hallucination build and is doing less damage than before. You can say that the less damage than before is equal to the other classes, ceilings, but I think that we already all knew that the Surge Deathblade was ridiculously strong, and this doesn't really change anything. Maybe what it does is it gives us a little bit more perspective into how much more damage the back attack version is doing than the rest of the classes. But is anybody really going to be playing Hallucination Deathblade? No. Nobody's going to be playing this because it's weaker than the back attack version. Everybody's just going to be continuing to use Entropy. So this kind of discovery doesn't really change anything. I think mostly people are just kind of like mad that their classes are not doing as much as Deathblade, and even on a, I guess, unoptimized build, right, is doing more damage than their own class, which, is a fair critique. I think that it is kind of crazy and ridiculous that Deathblade is so strong that an unoptimized build is doing as much damage as other optimized builds for other classes. But this threat itself doesn't really make the Deathblade more OP than it already was. It's just, more fluff, more stuff for people to get mad about. That's about it. So yeah, this video was really just to discuss this topic and kind of talk a little bit about my thoughts on this and how I think the community is overreacting a bit on this, because it honestly doesn't change anything. There's no difference between Deathblade yesterday and Deathblade today when we discovered this. Deathblade is still just OP and really strong, and that's about it. Hopefully Smilegate will balance the game a little bit more in the next balance patch. I'm expecting them fully to nerf this class, and there will probably be another class that's OP after this. That's just how these games go. But all right, guys, hopefully you guys enjoyed this video. Let me know down in the comment section below what you think about the Deathblade in its current state. And as always, if you enjoyed the video, please hit the like button, hit the sub button, ring the bell for notifications. And I also stream on twitch.tv/MisoXshiro every single night starting at 10 p.m. PST. So hopefully I'll see y'all on my stream, but if not, hopefully I can see you guys on the next video. All right, guys, peace out.